Hello, my dudes. Black Mamba here with Niggle.
I ain't your niggle.
Oh, baby, you're my niggle.
Oh, gosh. She's got a dog now. She's been freaking trying to alpha all over the whole house. Now everybody's her niggle. My name is Wriggle. I told her, wait, what the heck is that?
I don't know, dear. What is that?
Oh, I lost it on this playthrough. Obviously, I went full Rajira on this playthrough.
You mean full Niggle?
Oh, my goodness. Back to the nigglage. Okay. Yeah, so she was saying, like, I need to figure out how to introduce her properly. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, you know what? It's your turn. So that's what we got. I get to be the niggle. And
I told you you should have done it.
did you even introduce yourself?
I did. I said Black Mamba.
So you get to be Black Mamba, and I get to be your Black Bee's Knees.
Not black. You just my bee's knees.
I'm your niggle, apparently.
My bee's knees. You're my bee's knees.
Okay, hey, well, let's talk about things here.
Yeah, it's Mad Stalker.
Isn't that a weird name, guys?
Yes.
Like, who, like...
It reminds me of a movie.
Of course, everything does. What movie does it remind you of?
It's actually called The Watcher, and it's
Wait,
with...
the name or the video game reminds you of the movie? Like, the visuals or just the name?
The name of the video game reminds me of a movie called The Watcher, and it was about a stalker.
I'm going to say
Slash
The Watcher sounds a little bit problematic, as the kids say these days.
Why?
Because you ain't supposed to be watching people. Like those dudes at the gym that do like the male gaze on the females that are just trying to get a workout in their humble clothing.
First of all, there's no humble clothing in the gym worn by women, okay? Not these days, which I have a huge problem with.
They're very humble, the ladies at the gym.
No, they're not.
I know.
Anyway,
can
the
we
movie,
talk about Mad Stalker instead of the Stalker movie?
The movie Stalker was interesting, B-movie, but I love it. And so, obviously, this has nothing to do with stalking. This is robo something.
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh, tell me something. Let me tell
Mad
you.
Stalker is probably the least of this game's worries as far as it comes to names, because that's not the full name of the game.
What's the full name?
Mad Stalker Full Metal Fourth.
What does that have to do with anything that I'm seeing on the screen right now?
Well, hold on. Let's not talk about that. We're talking about the name right now.
Of course. Okay.
So, it was supposed to be called Full Metal Force, and that's what they called in the PlayStation version. But these Japs used to just mess up their translations in
Who's
English.
racist now?
Me.
It's like, you want to call me racist?
No,
I ain't racist.
No, I'm the racist.
Actually, I am. I am racist.
Oh, now it's cool to be racist?
No,
I was racist first, before it was cool.
That's only because you're older than me.
Yeah, okay, whatever, sure. Now we're going to be speciest or ageist?
Ageist. It's not
All right,
speciest.
I get to be the racist, and you can be the ageist.
Deal.
All right. Anyways, so the Japs called, or the Japanese, for you sensitive
quotation
folk
marks.
out there, they called this game Full Metal Fourth because they messed up the translation, and they just let it rock. And honestly, guys, I love that. I think it's hilarious. Like,
They do that in Japan.
Double Dragon game on the first screen on the Nintendo for Double Dragon 3, it's supposed to say Billy and Jimmy Lee, and it says Bimmy and Jimmy.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And they just let it rock, man. They used to do that. There's a bunch of bad translations like that.
This looks like Transformers.
You're a giant mech, so...
A mech?
Yeah, that's what they call giant robots that humans operate, are called mechs. It's like a genre in Japanese sci-fi.
I've never heard of this.
Giant mech?
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like giant mech. It's a whole genre over there. Like how they got like I don't know, what other genres do they have?
I don't know. Just because I went to Japan doesn't mean I know all the genres.
All the sci-fi genres. I'm blanking right now. Well, whatever. So we should talk about this game.
Yes, this
Even though
big
it's
blue
called
guy.
Mad Stalker. Like, who wants to be an insane stalker? Like, how
He
is
could be
this
an
guy an
angry
insane stalker?
Well, he could be an angry stalker.
He's a
Mad.
giant. This dude is a cop. He's a cop that operates a giant robot. And he's trying to save the world.
What does that
He's
have
not
to do with-
stalking anybody,
No.
and he's not insane. Like, cops are the least insane people.
They have
They're
to
like
go through
so sane they
psych
went out
things.
the other side and like wrapped around to the point where they actually seem insane in normal company because they're so normal. It's like. It'd be like if you had that Terry Pratchett coffee that made you so sober that it drove you insane. You like went past sober. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
What's that
indeed.
stuff called? Sprack juice?
No, Clatchian coffee.
Yeah, they get clatched out.
Yeah.
Well, we should talk about this game.
Yeah, we're talking about everything else. So
Yeah, so let me talk about the game. So the game Mad Stalker for the X68000, this is for the Japanese computer that I've done a couple videos on recently. If you want to know how to, I'm playing it on the Mister, by the way. And if you want to know how to get this game and other X68000 games working on the Mister, I just released a video about a week ago on how to get that working.
without me.
Yeah, it's not a playthrough video, Izzy. It's a how-to guide I did.
Yes, dear. I know.
You don't even know. You didn't even watch my channel.
How do you know?
Did you watch the video?
Maybe.
If you did, why can't you just say yes or no? Why is it gonna be like?
I learned from the best, dear.
like-
I learned from the best to never
well,
answer
maybe
questions.
Okay, so that's a no. But
Oh, is that what that means?
It's fine.
Oh, okay. So when you say that to me, that means no.
maybe.
Yeah,
No, but when women say maybe, it means no. When men say maybe, it means maybe.
that's not true.
Like if you're like, hey, I was wondering if we could go out on a second date sometime, and she says maybe, guys. What's that mean, Izzy?
I don't know. I don't
It
know.
means
Weird
no,
female
dude.
speaks.
It means no if the
No,
chick says maybe.
to me, it honestly means she's got to think about it because there could be a lot of factors involved.
Yeah.
Like, it
like if
literally
she's washing
means.
her hair that day or
Why
something.
do you always reduce like feminine things to like, oh, I gotta wash my hair like that? First of all, that's a lengthy process for hair as long as mine. Second of all, you know, if I were to go on a first date with the guy and he goes, hey, let's go out sometime, there is possibly a maybe if I'm just like, I'm not 100% sure. Like,
Did I get a maybe when I asked you out on a second date?
I don't know, did you?
Nope. She was all about that second date, boys.
Oh, I was I?
Anyways, let's not get personal. Can we talk about the video game?
I'm waiting on you, dear.
So,
So far, I'm seeing him just kill a bunch of robots.
yes, we are definitely killing robots in this game. So,
Okay.
Izzy wants to talk about the narrative.
No,
So
what are we
the-
supposed to be talking about?
I was going to talk about the video game system we're playing this on because it is a very difficult and unusual system to get to play on. So it's worth mentioning.
Okay,
But
we
then
should
there's
mention.
also game mechanics to talk about, which are very interesting for this game. But there is the story of the game, which I know is probably the only thing of interest to Islord over here.
Oh,
Black
I like
Mamba.
it when you get all technical.
So, the story of the game is that
Did you just have to flex on your masculine power right there?
what do you mean on the video game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I was
the story.
I was loopy by the time I got the clear on this game, guys.
Yeah,
That's something we
hence-
can talk about. Like I had a very hard time getting the clear on this game. I think I play it on the hardest difficulty. I don't remember. I probably showed it in the beginning, but
Aside from your, hand Godzilla.
oh yeah, I was loopy. I recorded and got a playthrough on this game, and I went to my stupid iPhone, and my iPhone had turned off on me for, I think it was maxed out on space or something. So then I had to re-record it, and then I just kept dying. I don't know, a couple other things went wrong. And then I got a recording and it looked bad. And I think I had forgot to put a speaker in front of the recording. So I had to go back and do it again. Fortunately, I do really enjoy playing this game. So, like, compared to like a game like Ghosts and Goblins on the Nintendo, if I had died on that clear or like the recording didn't work, I probably would just kill myself. I'm definitely not going to beat Ghosts and Goblins again. That game is miserable to play through. But this game's a lot of fun for me. I enjoy it. And that's largely because of the style, the music, the graphics, and the gameplay. But Izzy wanted to know about the story.
Yes.
So the story is in the future, the government finds old technology of these robots, and they make their own robots, or they harness these old robots, and they try to use them for, I don't know, noble ends. But then the robots, I think, like gain consciousness or something. There's a really cool cutscene in the beginning of this. Like it's worth watching the cutscenes on this game. I probably fast forwarded through them on this playthrough because I was just so burned out. This is like my 7th attempt on this clear, and 2 of them I had actually cleared it and I had to go back and re-record. So I was just grumpy McGrumpington at this point. But yeah, the cutscenes are cool, and the story is that the robot technology has like gone rogue, and we're a police officer, and we're trying to like destroy the robot technology, and we have one of the robots from the past or something.
So it's the Terminator.
Except we found ancient technology instead of like future tech coming back.
Which is weird, because why would ancient technology be working? I'm just following logic here.
It's like there's a couple different ways that's dealt with in sci-fi. One is that there was like an apocalypse, like a nuclear holocaust, and then 1,000 years in the future, people like rebuild society, and then they go back and they find the old technology like prior to the nuclear holocaust, like prior to the apocalypse, they find it. And then another way it is just that, I don't know, like you're on a different world and there's ancient technology that has been forgotten or something. But this is taking place in like magical realism, like this is like Japan that they're in. It's not like some foreign planet is the vibe I get. So yeah, that's the story. Is we're a lone warrior trying to defend the world against ancient technology gone rogue. The thing that sets this game apart is the gameplay. It actually plays like a fighting game. You're playing left and right, side-scrolling, usually not very many enemies on the screen, and it plays just like a fighting game where you have like a jab attack, and then you have a slower, stronger attack, and then there's command buttons, like if you hold forward and attack, you'll do a different attack. And some of those are anti-airs, like if you hold forward and heavy punch, you'll do like an uppercut punch that's an anti-air. You can also Oki on enemies.
Does this have bosses like on every level?
Yeah, in fact, there's a boss rush in the beginning where you can play all the bosses, which is actually how I recommend to start playing this game, is just skip playing the game and just go to the boss rush in the beginning that plays like a fighting game, and just learn how you need to be able to beat all the bosses consistently on that fighting game. Otherwise, there's no point in trying to play through the game if you're going to get to the boss and you don't know how to handle them. And it'll also teach you the mechanics. There's special moves in this game. If you roll the controller forward in a fireball motion, you'll shoot your gun either slow or fast. And then if you press forward attack, you'll do that dash attack. And there's a jab dash, and then there's a heavy dash. And I tend to use the jab dash. It doesn't go as fast, or as far, but it seems to be more effective for some reason. And then if you press down attack, you do like a dragon punch, which is a good anti-air. And you can kind of, what would you call it? You can buffer it, so just keep pressing down.
So this is the boss?
This is a boss, yes.
How many levels?
About five or six, maybe. And every boss, I typically fight them the same way every time. You got to figure out what works on them. Like what works on one boss is not going to work on another. And one tactic that works good on most of the bosses, right after saying that, like there is one tactic that you typically do on all the bosses, which is jump attacking. Which you don't really use much in the rest of the game, but on the bosses, for some reason, the double jump kick works pretty good. Like trying to just
Still looks like Transformers.
yeah, that's another, you know, mech sci-fi is Transformers.
Yeah.
And then there's Gundam, or Evangelion is another mech. You got to be aware of mech sci-fi in Japan.
No.
Well,
I mean, obviously it makes sense because they like robotics and they like machines and they're really into technology. So it would not surprise me.
You remember that kaiju movie you liked where they fight the kaiju?
Yeah.
With the robots?
Yeah.
That is a mech sci-fi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it was an American film, so I had no idea.
Remember the name of it?
Yes, Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Pacific Rim. Human beings getting in giant robots to fight monsters. Classic
Kaiju
mech Japanese stuff. There's a whole bunch of mech stuff. Musha is another video game where you pilot a mech.
Well, makes sense because most of the terms in that movie were Japanese.
Yeah.
I think there was a Japanese main character as well.
Oh, that's a trip because that movie is American, huh?
Yeah. They probably redid it and then they kept part of the Japanese culture, and
it feels like a Japanese. Here's another cool cutscene. Feels like a Japanese movie, like with just the story, the plot of it. But yeah, the actors are American. Now that you mention it,
there's one Japanese woman in there, which I liked her story with her adoptive father and all that, and that was really cool, which led up to some emotional thing in the end, which was really good for an action flick, which is not normally my thing, but it was a good movie.
Now I want to go see some mech movies.
We should go see it.
Hey, if you guys are still listening to this, anybody that can recommend like a good mech movie, let me know because I kind of want to see one now.
Yeah.
I like dumb action flicks.
Well, if it's a Japanese one, they probably do a really good job.
No, they're dumb.
No, they do a better job, I think, sometimes. They're
really good at doing dumb, though. Like, dumb in a good way.
Not like American. I think there's two different genres for those types of things.
Like hot blonde dumb, not like retard dumb.
Okay.
Right?
Do we have a thing for blondes, dear?
No, but it's a thing. It's not my thing. I'm not claiming the hot blonde thing.
That's good. I'm not blonde. Never gonna be blonde. Never going blonde.
I've never seen her in a blonde wig either.
Why would I downgrade myself? Sorry, I'm sorry. He's a little blonde. I don't mean that personal. I don't. I like blondes. As long as it's not on me. Well.
Just a little bit blonde?
A little bit blonde. On me. But not my hair.
And my beard's red.
I'll take that. I have some red hair-ish.
Yeah, like a little bit of like auburn or whatever. I don't even know what that means, but they'll say that about people with red in their hair.
Me neither. But it doesn't matter. I do like the dumb action TV shows, I guess. I don't know. I've been into Supernatural lately, so to me that's not exactly... It's campy, but it's not dumb, in my opinion.
Yeah, you've been talking about that show.
I love it.
Kind of burned out on TV shows. Been playing a lot of games lately.
I'm burnt out on movies of, like, especially either the dramas and sometimes the action flicks get more emotional. And I'm like, I'm done at the end of the night. I cannot do emotional anything. I just want to sit and be entertained. And I can't do comedies. I can't do dramas. So what does that leave?
Video games.
TV shows.
Sharp X68000. That's the answer to all your problems, guys.
Demon fighting TV shows. That's what I want.
I've been all in on
TV
this
shows.
X68000 since I got it working. Like this
K2
computer system, guys, is like the games are very well made. Like they're all pretty hard, and the difficulty isn't dumb difficulty, like random difficulty, like what you get in like Ghosts and Goblins, and it's not like just tanky enemies where it's just boring. It's like the level design is really good. The games are really short and difficult. They have a very arcadey feel. I say that, but this game's like freaking 40 minutes long, which is pretty long for a game. But yeah, I mean,
You've had longer.
I have. It's not like Streets of Rage long. And this is actually a longer game, I'd say, compared to other games on the system. There's a lot of games you can beat in like 15 minutes. Like I have Star Wars on this channel that I beat like last week and uploaded. That game's like a 15-minute game. But what I'm getting at is the games are just very well made. I got a lot of respect for this computer system. Like these games are from 91, which is like early Sega Genesis time frame, and they just look and sound amazing.
It's as old as my car.
Yeah, like it's pretty old at this point. So is your car. Your car is crazy that it's still trucking along. But
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
what do you think about the music, Izzy? Does it strike you at all, or it's just whatever? Or
It's whatever. It's kind of, to me, normal video game sounding.
yeah, she doesn't get hyped for video game music.
No.
I'd be embarrassed. I actually get embarrassed when I play video game music. It's funny. Like
You do have the weirdest taste in music. I mean, some of it's not bad. But some of it, I'm like, what are we listening to? Seriously.
I like a lot of different types of music, and
You do.
I will play video game music.
You're like your son.
Just yeah, like at work or in the car. Like I would listen to this music probably in the car. See, she laughs.
No way.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I would. And
No, I mean, for me. I know you would.
Yeah,
I absolutely know
but
you would.
I get embarrassed. Like I was playing it at work, and then I got embarrassed. Like it got all quiet in the room, and they're like, "What is this kook listening to?" And I turned it off because I got so embarrassed. This boss right here is one of the harder ones in the game, and he gave me a hard time at first until I, just sat there in the versus section at the beginning of the game and like figured out how to beat him. And now I really enjoy playing him. He kind of looks like a bunny.
He does, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
I tell you how to beat him, but you can just watch, and then if you want to do it, you got to just practice on your own. Which, because of that beginning section, it's easy to practice. What was I saying? Yeah, I get embarrassed about video game music. One thing I like to do, guys, like I play role-playing games a lot of the time. And the music in a role-playing game gets like annoying after a while. It's like really repetitive. So what I'll do is I'll go online and pull up like PC 98 music, or I don't know, just classic role-playing games from other games. Like besides the game I'm playing, I'll pull up like Stalker is one of my favorites on the Genesis, and I'll just listen to the OST while I'm playing through a different game like Shining Force. And then when it goes through the playlist, I might pull up like Sorcerion's one of my favorites on the PC 88. But yeah, I play video game music. I'm a connoisseur of video game music, and I'd say a lot of the music on the Sharp is really good.
That's probably how you feel about all of my music.
Oh, what do you mean?
You don't like some of my music. I got some weird taste in music.
No, I don't like a lot of your pop music that you listen to.
My operatic music, my folk songs.
I like the folk songs, but I don't like the pop folk as much. And then if you get me listening to the lyrics, sometimes I'll get all judgmental.
And philosophical.
Yeah. Like a lot of the lyrics on music nowadays is like heathen, guys. It's like blasphemous.
It can be. Some of it I think is more like this person's poetry. Like, that's probably what people thought poetry was back when poetry first started. because it was so different and so, I don't know, just different than the way they did things, but it gives you a perspective, I think.
What you need is to listen to some punk rock.
No,
At least
gosh.
that stuff's like openly blasphemous.
Oh dear goodness!
Instead of like trying to sound like Christian music with like
you're talking
a choir
about
in the background.
You're talking about one
And then-
particular artist.
No, there's a lot of music where it'll borrow Christian themes. Like it'll have like, oh, like a choir in the background, and they might even have imagery from like a church, like just like a
You
prayer.
mean like Rolling Stones?
Like just like a prayer from Madonna comes to mind.
Oh.
And then it's like got Black Jeebus in there, and it's like, are we really sending a Christian message here? Or are we
Of course
just
she's
ripping
not.
off
It's
the Christians?
Madonna.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it'll have all the style of Christianity, but none of the heart or the messaging, which gets me burnt when I see that, and then I get all judgmental. Yeah, I like to. You can do combos in this game, guys. Like when you Oki on them, you can do like that kick right there, kick, and then jab punch, and then finish with like a shot. I like to finish with firing the gun. It actually does more damage and is more effective to finish with your dash attack. But I just feel like it's more stylish to like finish with the gunshot. It just looks really cool when he pulls out that big old gun and fires on him.
What's with the big 71 at the top?
You mean 70?
Yeah, 70. It keeps counting down.
Oh, 69?
68. 60.
You know what? I never found out. That's a good question.
I'm like, what are we counting down
What
to right now?
happens when that goes all the way? I've been played this game a lot for like a week or two. I was all in on this game, and it never got to zero. Like I don't even know why they bothered.
What?
Like, well, I figure when that thing counts down, something's gonna happen, right?
Right.
When that hits zero, I don't know what it is because I never let it get to zero.
How do you not let it get to zero?
I kick that ass. I'm just that good. Mm-hmm. Like, I kick every ass on the screen before it gets to zero, and then the game's like, well, I don't know what else to do. I guess we got to move on.
Uh-huh.
Like, I guess I just bully the game into moving on. But I am now curious. I want to fire it up and see what happens when it gets to zero. I couldn't imagine, like, playing this game and timing it out. And I don't know how the hell you would be playing this and go to zero if you're actually really playing it. This game really rewards you just being aggressive. I don't even know if there's a block.
Here it goes again. Now we're at 98.
It ain't ever going to get to zero. I've never seen it.
But why does it keep counting down?
Because
100 seconds?
that's what I'm saying. Something
Minutes?
happens when it gets to zero, and I don't know what it is.
You have to tell me when you find out.
All right. Yeah, there are other versions of this game I'd like to play. There's a Sega Genesis version that was never released officially, but I guess it was finished, and people have like found it and dumped the ROM. And I've seen playthroughs, and it looks like identical to this, which is pretty cool. That the Sega Genesis pulled these graphics off. I feel like the Sharp has more power than the Sega Genesis, just from what I've been seeing in the last couple weeks I've been playing with it. I'm new to the Sharp X68000. I've only been playing it for a couple weeks. But yeah, it's gotta be more powerful than the Sega or the Super Nintendo. Like when you see games like Street Fighter on it that look arcade perfect, they're not that good on the Super Nintendo. They're not as good. Or Cotton is on this system that looks, I mean, the Cotton game looks like a PlayStation game. So this seems to be like in between like a Super Nintendo and a PlayStation as far as graphical power.
I want to know why part of his legs are going backwards.
Because
He's
he
got
rolled it.
Knees, and then he's got like an extra backwards knee.
I think that's his calf muscle.
That's where his feet actually bend. Why does it keep telling you to go?
Yeah, it doesn't need to. I'm gonna go.
I know, but
Even
where are you
if it
going?
didn't tell me to go,
But where are you going?
to find more people to destroy.
Oh.
Like, it's a standard protocol in these games that you go from left to right. Like, nobody needs to tell you to go right. Like, if you're at this point in this game, you're a badass. Like, this game isn't easy, I wouldn't say. Like, you have to know what you're doing and figure out all the tactics. But once you figure it out, it's not that hard. But if you don't know how to play fighting games, this is probably a hard game. But if you use basic fighting game strategy, like when you knock them down, you Oki on them, like have an attack. Oki is when you have an attack out as the enemy is getting up. And then if you know how to anti-air, and then you just have spacing, like, just by spacing, I mean, like, know what attacks work at what distances. Like, you have different anti-airs, for example. You can do down attack and do your special uppercut. And that'll work from certain spaces. And then you have just like if you hold forward and press heavy punch, you do another anti-air. And that works from different distances. So you just kind of have to know what attacks work at different distances. Like from full range, you can anti-air with your gun. Like if the enemy jumps at you and you're at full distance, you'll fire your gun and then its hitbox comes out like pretty far in front of you and will hit them. So yeah, if you have basic like fighting game knowledge, this game will seem natural to you. Like I can tell whoever made this game was a fighting game fan. And there aren't too many games like this. Like beat 'em ups don't play like fighting games. Beat 'em ups have their own feel. And there might be some things in beat 'em ups, like there's OTGs on the grounds, attacks, and there's sometimes you can Oki in beat 'em ups, but they don't play like fighting games. They're their own deal. But not this. This just plays like a succession of fighting game battles. I know there's Sub-Zero on the Nintendo 64, I think, tried to do that, and people hate that game. I remember as a kid really liking that game, and it was a very similar vibe to this, but that's the only other game I can think of that tries to do this.
Ooh.
Well, you like that little midget there? Is that why you get excited?
No, that wasn't an excited. I was looking at him slicing something, and I was like, ooh, okay. And
oh,
that
the sword
one,
guy?
Yeah, and the gray one looks like a wolf. They do have a thing with animals in Japan. I'm surprised the main character isn't more animal-like.
He has a name.
What is his name?
I think it's Hound.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. However, he doesn't look like a hound.
I think his name is Hound. Well, his mech is named Hound.
Oh, okay.
Like, they always name their mechs, which I've always liked. And there's like, mech sci-fi has like themes you have to obey. Like, the mechs all have to have names.
I'm surprised it's not more alive, if you will.
There typically has to be an operator. Another common theme is like the mech might talk to him. Kind of like...
That makes more sense.
I don't know, what's an example? Like, I mean, the classic example is Knight Rider, where the car talks. Or Outlaw Star is a really cool one. And the spaceship talks to him, and he's kind of got attitude. The spaceship's like a...
Or the Flight of the Navigator.
It's kind of like C-3PO, Flight of the Navigator. Ooh, we should show Esme that.
Yeah, good luck.
It's kind of a boy... You liked it. I was going to say it's kind of a boy show, but I know you liked it as a kid.
Yeah, but
I loved that show when I was a kid.
Different.
Weird.
Yeah.
We talked about you last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Care to share?
My dad was
Are you gonna
telling
keep
me
it
a
a secret?
joke. He was saying how he was at a Rush concert, and then his friend's like, I gotta pay, because they've been boozing.
Right.
And then he was like, I went to the bathroom, and the line's so long, I'm just gonna like pee over here. My dad's like, no, just go to the girls' bathroom. And because there was no one in there.
I was just gonna say there's gonna be no one in that girl's bathroom, but okay,
yeah, because there's
whatever.
no girls at a Rush concert.
Except for
And
me.
then I was like, except for my wife.
Yeah.
My wife likes Rush.
I would have gone to a Rush concert.
I heard they might be playing again.
Are you kidding me? They
No,
don't
I'm
have they're missing a member.
Yo, you know, you can get new ones these days.
Depends. They're not gonna be as good as
I
the
mean,
old
chicks are getting their own members these days. Like, it's not hard to get a member in 2025.
ones. Technically, it's harder to build a pole than dig a hole. Okay?
I'll just trust your judgment on that.
Yeah, you should. I'm a medical professional, okay?
Dig a pole and build a hole.
No, build a pole.
Yeah, that's
dig
what I
a hole.
said.
No, you didn't, but it's okay. Anyway, so what'd your dad say to the fact that I like Rush?
I don't remember. We were drunk. But this
You probably
game's
didn't say
almost
much.
over. This is about it. I feel like,
Because I'm like the only woman I've ever heard of that likes Rush.
yeah, you're the only one. I mean, I know they exist, like unicorns, but you just
Aw.
never find any.
Am I a unicorn, dear?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You are the gem of Santa Maria, I call her.
He does. So, where's the last boss, or is now it? The building
He's coming
is not
up.
coming down
We're gonna jump up here, and he's gonna be up
in the
here.
clouds.
Oh, I feel like I should say how I got this game working on my. Oh, we're recording this off my CRT, and if you plug your Mister into your CRT and try to play the Sharp X68000, you're gonna have problems. Probably. Go to my YouTube video if you want details on how to get that to work. I have on my video where I talk about how to get the Sharp to work. I have a whole section on CRTs. In this instance, this game has a setting for 15 kilohertz, and it will work on my BVM, but it will not work on my consumer grade CRT because the Sharp doesn't put out a normal 15 kilohertz signal. It's some weird resolution like 256 by 273, or I pulled that number out of my butt, but it ain't 240p, guys. It's like some weird variation close to 240 that's 15 kilohertz, but it's not quite 240, which most consumer grade CRTs are not going to handle. There is a way to get games to work though on your consumer grade, and I go into that on my video, but I'm not going to get into that here because it's boring. But yeah, that's it, man. We just beat this game's ass. Like, we're gonna zoom on out of here on a police scooter. We'll be clearing them stages. Them stages is clear. I'm gonna blow up the penis ship.
I was just gonna say, why is that so phallic?
Because it's Japanese love them some phallic symbolism.
They
Like, if
do.
you play a shooter game, there's a penis.
Or something that looks like one.
Yeah, they be hiding. There's just, I don't know what it is about the Japanese shooters, but they just be sneaking in the penises. To the point where, like, you'll see something that you're like, maybe it's a penis. It is a penis. Like, if you think it might be phallic, it is. Yeah, the Japanese got their own style on
Well,
things.
those other little things look rather suspicious.
Yeah, you start seeing penises everywhere. At a certain point,
I'm seeing
you
balls.
start getting paranoid.
And a little dickage.
Yeah, these little limp dick spaceships helping you out. Yeah, I love this game. I want to go and play the Sega version, the Genesis version, and also the PlayStation version. The PlayStation version looks very different, and I hear bad things about it. Shouldn't say bad, like mediocre. Like, I believe this game is very well regarded, but the PlayStation version is kind of meh as far as people's respect they give it.
I guess that'll be our next playthrough.
The PlayStation one?
Sure.
Oh no, our next playthrough is Street Fighter. I got it clear. We got to record on that.
Okay.
Another Street Fighter. How many freaking Street Fighters have we done?
I've lost count.